One thing that I wanted to remind you all is that, and you've somehow mentioned it because you were distracted and so on, to focus on one thing. It's very, very important when you are figuring out your strategy for next year or your goals or something. Try to keep like one important focus in mind, and then all of the rest, no matter what else comes, that's, second to whatever you have inside. It's the only way you can really ensure that you will be focused on a certain direction. I remember I suggested to you to read the One Thing book. Did any of you got to read it? Okay, so please read it. It's a really light read, which, it's good for the holidays, but it's also a matter of like you can apply it in life or in the job or in the business. But one thing I remember even Buffett saying, he was saying, make a list with 25 things which you can do in your life, which you can do well. Then out of that, outline 5 things that you believe could be your most important or top subjects to focus on. Then out of those, choose just one and get it to perfection. Okay? And this is from a guy that does like quite a lot of money and has quite a bit of success. And in his 80s and now 90s, this was, I think, something from last year. I heard him say last year. So he's still doing that. In terms of a goal, for example, for next year, something which all of us can have in mind is, if we're talking about prospecting, let's say, and if that's the goal, for example, a certain number of LinkedIn messages sent per day, right? And it can be like a really small number that you can do even while waiting for the bus or even while waiting for a meeting to happen. Like 5 reach out messages per day to new prospects, okay? To good fit prospects. Agreed? So choose one of these, like really light, really easy to do, but just focus on the same thing every time. And like linked helper, you can even schedule that linked helper sends these 5, and maybe once a day you just revisit just to see, if you got any answers, or, book that time in your calendar where you have this focus. Okay? Makes sense for everybody? Okay, I think that's really easy to implement, right?